Good morning. Testing 1, 2, 3. Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. We have a China crisis on our hands, do we not? The markets have retraced a little bit, and that is down to the news that China is imposing tariffs on America. 10%. That's what's been announced overnight on certain goods from America to China. We're going to have a look at that. That's the big news. Is it another storm in the teacup like we've had with Mexico and Canada over the weekend? Is it going to be resolved? Is Trump going to come out of this smelling of roses yet again? We are going to get into it and have a look. Good morning to you all. Welcome to Crypto Warehouse. My name is Mike. It's 11 o'clock, February the 4th, 2025. Bitcoin is coming in at $99,000. We got all the way back up to $102,000 last night. We have retraced a little bit on the news from China. It's not the end of the world if you're tuning in and you know nothing about crypto, but you've got Bitcoin and you're seeing it go down. Don't panic. This too shall pass. Also, if you are new here, smash the like button. Give us a follow. The cough still has not gone, but we're going to try. Now, what we're going to talk about today is we're going to talk about China and the tariffs. World Liberty Finance, they are buying again. What are they buying? I'm going to go through that. XRP, where next for XRP? Real world assets did bounce back strongly yesterday. Why and where are we going with them? 24/7 losses. We're going to discuss trading Monday to Friday, 24/7. That is on the cards and going to happen. And the SEC's wings have been clipped. What is all that about? All of that in an hour. Well, actually in 58 minutes. We're going to look at the market and we're going to look at some X-Files. We've got a lot to get through. Good morning, Bullish Bull. Good morning, Hidden Agendas. Good morning, KB. Good morning to you all. Weirdly enough, traffic was really down until yesterday. And then all of a sudden, we got a lot more traffic than normal across our different live streams. So welcome to you all. Make sure you give us a follow. We try and stream 5 or 6 times a week. We also do some trading streams on a Monday and a Friday night with the Oracle. He called it last Friday. He said 92,000. He called it. He was right. There you go. Anyway, we're coming in at 98,500. So we are down a little bit further than when I checked before. Ethereum's coming in at 2,700 XRP. $2.50. Solana, I don't know if these numbers are right. Are we going to refresh back over $200, $205? Lots of the support levels that we talked about yesterday have held true. Lots of the prices we said would hold have held, which is good because the other option was more severe and a bigger drop. And we've done quite well to hold them. Gainers and losers then. Mantra, the RWA project is up again, $6. We talked about this project back in September, August last year. Actually, no, it must have been summer last year. We talked about Mantra. It was back at 90 cents, 80 cents. We said it was a good buy back then. It's at $6 now. Radium is up. Aerodrome, the DEX over on base is up. Other good picks from down here. Hype is having a massive run. Dupe is back up, almost back at $1. Sui is coming back again. Even though these prices are pumping today, they're still below where they were a few weeks ago. Sui is probably 20% down from where it was. Dupe got back up to about 120. So even though they are pumping today, they're still not bad prices. And if you're dollar cost averaging into some of these coins, keep doing it. Keep doing it. We might have another dip between now and next week. Doesn't matter. If you dollar cost average in every day or every week, you're going to pick up these dips. Losers then, Trump is down, Dexy, Ton, OP is down, Ronin. Not many losers. Not many losers. I don't think I think the China news would have had more of an impact had we not had the Mexico and Canada news. I think the Canada-Mexico tariffs, I think they shocked the market. China is a far bigger market than Canada and Mexico, and that doesn't seem to have shaken us down too badly. So I think the impact of these on the markets hopefully is lessening. Right then, President Trump, his crypto czar, David Sachs, is to hold a press conference tomorrow, which is today. Now, this is not the first tweet we've got about this. Something very, very big is about to happen. Now, I don't like coming on here and being all super optimistic, super pessimistic. Something big is happening today, and it's been tweeted by multiple people within the administration. Trump yesterday signed the Wealth Reserve Act, I think it's called, or something like that. He signed that, and now today we're going to get some announcement, which we think we know what that's going to be, but we'll get onto that when I get to the next tweet. Now then, Trudeau says he will do the following to delay tariffs for 30 days. The border plan, the strike force, the intel operations, the border security, and the czar to combat smuggling. Why is this important? Because you've got the Democrats saying that this was already agreed with Biden. You've got the Republicans saying it's a win for Donald Trump. I think the truth is somewhere in the middle. I think committing to something and doing something are two totally different things. Committing to putting people on borders is not putting people on borders. So I think the right are within their rights to say that they are right, and I think the left are within their rights to say, well, they were going to do that anyway. So I think the truth is somewhere in the middle, but the most important thing, the tariffs have been delayed. Now then, Raoul Pal, lots of people don't like him. I don't like the fact he's gone from ETH to Sol to SUI. He's now on the board of advisors for SUI. So again, I tell people all the time, don't believe everybody that you listen to on the internet, including myself, because a lot of them have their own personal interests. But from time to time, they will put out these kinds of tweets. And Raoul Pal is a very, very clever man. Just because you don't necessarily like what somebody has to say doesn't mean they're wrong. Something I think a lot more people in the world need to understand. This is his kind of rule of thumb of what you need to follow. And I agree with most of it. Don't leverage. Don't FOMO in. Buy the top 3 to 5 assets as your main bag. These are the things we say every week on this channel. Self-custody with good wallet hygiene, I don't agree with that. That's the one thing I don't agree on. I said that underneath, which I'm not going to bring up. The reason is, if you're new to crypto, self-custody is the worst thing you can do because you need to understand how cold wallets work. You shouldn't use hot wallets. You shouldn't look after your own money if you're not capable of doing that. Is why, to some extent, we have banks who have pension pots and pension funds, because most people are not capable of looking after their own money. So I don't agree with that one. HODL over a long time horizon. Yes. Zoom out and remove the noise. Yes. Expect 35% pullbacks frequency. Don't expect that from Bitcoin. Bitcoin, I think, has moved to 20 to 25% pullbacks. I think if you're talking about altcoins, you should expect 50% pullbacks. So 35% in the middle for a portfolio, I suppose, is fine. And buy the dip if you can. I don't agree with that. I think dollar cost averaging in is a better strategy. Dollar cost averaging in just means if you have $100, you buy every week for 10 weeks, $10 a week, every Monday, every Tuesday, whatever it might be. But it's solid advice. And if somebody comes out with this kind of stuff, then you know we will try and bring you. We go through probably 500 tweets a day, and we pull out the ones that we think are the best. Sometimes there's no tweets to talk about. Others, there are. Now, we're going to talk about this today. World Liberty Finance has bought another 86,000 ETH in today's dump worth $220 million. Not technically true. They swapped some of it. They did buy some ETH yesterday or the day before, but they didn't. They swapped it from wrapped ETH to ETH. Imagine being bearish on ETH. $4,000 coming by the end of February. That I do agree with entirely. Also, Eric Trump tweeted yesterday about buying ETH is not a bad move. Not financial advice. Now then, again, be very careful about joining these types of cults. This gentleman here says they built on Solana for 3 simple reasons. It's faster, better, and easier. Ethereum had a head start, but time will level the playing field. Again, you don't want to become a maxi in anything because you are not going to marry your crypto. Your crypto is there for you to sell at a profit in the future. I doubt many people watching this are in it for the tech. I doubt many people are in this for changing the world, but you are in it for changing your life, and you shouldn't be made to feel guilty about that. Do not sell everything to buy Solana. Do not sell everything to buy Ethereum. The only time maybe you should be all in on anything is Bitcoin, because it's the true asset and it's the biggest asset. But this kind of he said, she said, school ground antics, it doesn't get you anywhere. It might be quicker, easier and faster, but it goes down. It crashes. It has to be reset. It's not perfect. Ethereum is not perfect. No chain is perfect. Be careful who you listen to. Now then, nation states are adopting Bitcoin, but also remember this list. We showed you the list of companies in America that are holding Bitcoin, and that list had maybe 30 companies on it 6 months ago. It's now got 70. This is a list of countries looking to add Bitcoin as part of their strategic reserve. Now, what you've got to understand, a strategic reserve does not mean that they're putting 100% of their assets into Bitcoin. It means that if they have $100 billion in their reserves, which could be in oil, US dollars, euros, pounds, whatever it might be, they might put 1 billion of that into Bitcoin, 1%. So don't think that all of these countries are suddenly trying to put all of their capital into Bitcoin. It's not the case. But you will notice that there are some bigger names starting to appear on this list. 12 months ago, we were talking about El Salvador. We were also talking about Brazil. But we were not talking about Germany, Japan, and of course the United States. We weren't talking about them. Now, if the United States does what I think is going to happen today, then the roof is going to come off Bitcoin. And if it's not today and it's tomorrow, the roof is going to come off Bitcoin. And everybody's predictions of a new all-time high are going to be correct. And that is something we're going to talk about in the next tweet. But this is a list of countries. Expect this to grow. Expect this to grow, okay? We are still very early and we are still way ahead of the curve. I wish I could shift this cold. Right then, we've got 2 more left before we get into some action. Murad's meme coins portfolio is down 10.4 million amid market sell-off. No coins have been sold. Now, again, I was going to make a video about Murad on Saturday or Sunday, and the market crashed, and I didn't do it because it was unfair. Now, this gentleman used to be, I believe, a Bitcoin or Ethereum maxi, and then he flipped to meme coins, and then he became the GOAT, the one to listen to, the savior, the person that's built up to knock down by the press. And he was telling you to go and buy meme coins. Meme coins are going to outperform everything. Go and buy meme coins. Bitcoin, Ethereum is a waste of time. You're not going to make any money. Buy meme coins. Since October, the best performing meme coin is down 74%, and the worst is down, I believe, 92%. And I have a list of about 15 of them, and when he tweeted about them. Don't believe people on the internet, okay? Especially ones that combine long hair with beards, okay? That's never going to work, ever, okay? You have a beard, you have long hair, you don't have both, okay? It's a bad, bad combination there, Murad. And again, it's easy with 2020 vision to look back and then bash people for their portfolios. That's easy. But when you are all in on meme coins, it's something that needs to be highlighted because it's wrong. Now then, it's shaping up to be a busy crypto policy day on the Hill tomorrow. This Congress isn't hanging around. There is going to be an announcement today in America about the Wealth Fund. I believe that Bitcoin, as well as being part of the crypto reserve, is going to be added to the Wealth Fund. Eric Trump has been tweeting about Ethereum. I said on here a week ago, Everybody is bashing XRP. Everybody's bashing Brad Garlinghouse, and quite rightly, for trying to wedge it into the strategic reserve. Nobody's talking about Vitalik. And at the time, I said Vitalik is sitting in the White House, he's sitting in the Oval Office, and he's showing Melania Trump cat memes. Okay? No one's mentioned the fact that Ethereum is going to be part of the strategic reserve. World Liberty Finance, which we're going to talk about in a minute, are buying Ethereum. Eric Trump is tweeting about Ethereum. Okay? Don't we all now start to believe that Ethereum is going to be part of the strategic reserve? That's where the $4,500 Ethereum is coming from. Everybody's bashing it to drive the price down. Everything bounced yesterday. Ethereum didn't. And then this tweet happened from Eric Trump, which was 11 hours ago, and Ethereum pumped. Okay, the only thing that stopped the pump is, of course, the China news, which we're going to talk about now. So don't fade Ethereum. Again, don't listen to anybody on the internet, but don't fade Ethereum. It's going to move, and I think it's going to be part of the strategic reserve. And again, I've not read that anywhere, but you don't have to. 2 and 2 does make 4 in this case. Now, US-China tariffs cost Bitcoin its $100,000 level as analyst eyes all-time high. It didn't hold on to 6 figures. It's not a surprise. Macro events are going to cause Bitcoin to come down. It's a simple fact of life. I had people telling me yesterday when we were low, we hadn't pumped. They were saying, you know, well, this isn't a weekend flush, because I was saying it was a weekend flush. We've had these before. We had these. There was a problem in the Middle East, and one Saturday or Sunday night, somebody did something to another country and the price of Bitcoin dropped, and then it recovered straight away. That was a shock to the market. We've come out of it. We got to Monday, and guess what? We're back to 102,000. We've had the China news. We've come down again. Guess what's going to happen? It's all going to be resolved, and the price is going to move up. If the announcement is made today, then we're going to see the price move up. Let's not worry too much about these events. They are not fundamental. They are not long-term changes. China and America are not going to have a tariffs war that lasts 4 years. Maybe it lasts 2 weeks, 3 weeks, but it won't last 4 years. It's in nobody's interest at all. Now then, White House crypto currency director David Sachs will hold a news conference at 2:30 to reveal the US digital asset policy details. 2:30 today. The Trump administration plans to reposition America as the leader in digital assets. Trader Yell responded in part of an X post on the topic, preparing for a big day. Today's a big day. But, as Raoul Pal said, please don't leverage. Do not go long on Bitcoin from $98,500 today. Not financial advice, of course. You can do what you want. But I do think we're going to go up today. I just don't like it when people use leverage, because we may go to 97, we might go to 96.5, we don't know. But it's going to be a volatile day. That's the key. Michael Vanderpop agreed. Bitcoin bounced back swiftly, currently acting within the range. I assume we'll see all-time highs in February, and it's quite normal to correct after a strong bounce. Remember, if you're an OG, I made a video and I told you when the next all-time high was going to be. I told you the date. And it's not this month, it's next month. Next month, we're going to get to a new all-time high. And it's not something I'm going to say because the OGs have got access to that. But if you are an OG, go and check out that video. I made it 2 weeks ago before all of this nonsense. Phoenix suggested that Bitcoin would investigate a new short-term range as a result. It feels logic for me to explore some kind of new range to form, he said on the day. Funding rates obviously changed an awful lot yesterday. I mean, everything that could have happened in one day. Sunday evening to Monday evening was a very crazy period. The wick on Bitcoin was what, $10,000 in a day? Incredible. For the 7th time this year, the Bitcoin funding rate has turned negative. All 6 previous instances signaled bullish momentum. Again, if you're new to Bitcoin, you are going to be worried because you've never seen this before. You've never been on this roller coaster before. It's not the time to worry. It's the start of the year. We've got a new president in America. All the things we talk about every day are all still in progress. We're going to see rate cuts, lots of bullish news for the rest of the year. Zoom out from the hourly. If you check your crypto every half an hour or every hour of every day, you're going to be sucked into this kind of blind panic. And you sometimes need to try and get out of the habit of looking at your crypto. Make it once a day, make it twice a day, but stop looking at it every half an hour. It's not going to move that much. Now, the Oracle has his beautiful chart here, which we are not going to use. Come on, there we go. Mic layout, there we go. That was actually my chart that I was using for the video that I made for the OGs, I believe. Right, then let's very quick look at Bitcoin, and then we're going to move on. Not too many charts today because we looked at them all yesterday. Nothing's changed with Bitcoin, in my opinion. We didn't break down to 89 or 88,000. I mean, if, for example, we go in here, okay, we are in the range that we've been in for so long. Nothing's changed. In fact, we're sitting right at the middle of this range. But if you are feeling down, imagine how you felt here, which was the 23rd of November last year. Imagine how you felt then. We'd gone from 68,000 up to 99,000. That feeling of elation that you had at 99,000. Where are we today? We're at 99,000. And I bet you don't have a feeling of elation today. But why not? Because we are $7,000 off all-time highs. $7,000 off all-time highs. And the majority of you watching are probably feeling quite bearish. But why? I mean, if we do this, just to give you an example, look where we came from. We were there 3 months ago. 3 months ago, we were there. And now we are crying because we've retraced to $99,000. It doesn't make sense, but it does make sense because we have recency bias. So as far as I can see, we're in the range. Bottom of the range is still 92. I don't know what it is, 92 something, maybe 92.6. Top of the range is still about 106. If we do have whatever kind of capitulation, I think we go to 87.5. Nothing's changed since yesterday. Apologies to those that watched yesterday and have seen this chart. I've said the same thing yesterday. I don't tend to change too much. Let's move on then. So World Liberty Finance. That's kind of the key to, I think, where I think Trump is telling us where we're going. World Liberty Finance is offering blockchain teams a token swap deal to buy $10 million worth of unlaunched WLF tokens. In return, World Liberty Finance will buy an equivalent amount of the blockchain's native tokens. The World Liberty Finance tokens will launch in Q3 2025. Must be free from any vesting periods with a minimum buy-in of $10 million. So what does this mean? Very simply put, if you are Solana and you want to be part of the World Liberty Finance portfolio, you need to buy $10 million worth of the token, the World Liberty Finance token. And in return, $10 million of Solana will be added to this platform. Now, when it launched, I've made a couple of videos about this, talked about it before. When it launched, it was Ethereum heavy, with the exception of Tron. Why was Tron in there? Because Justin Sun sponsored Trump's campaign for about $30 million. That's it, very simply put. Money go in, money go out, okay? Now they're offering other chains and other projects the ability to get in on the World Liberty Finance token. Now, again, I have no problem with the World Liberty Finance other than the fact it's directly connected to the President of America. I think there's massive conflict of interest. We've covered this before, but this is really bullish news. I would imagine that there will be 5 or 6 projects that will take up this offer. I'm not saying which ones because I don't know, but I would be very, very surprised if we didn't see some Solana projects in here, if we didn't see maybe some of the Ethereum layer 2s in here, certainly those. I don't think we're going to see Cardano. Probably XRP is going to be in here as well because of Brad Garlinghouse trying to brown nose Trump. So that is where we're going. And then the actual news article itself. And by the way, you can't buy World Liberty Finance tokens just yet. Trump-backed World Liberty Finance denies token sales. What they did was they swapped their wrapped Ethereum for Ethereum, I believe. According to the Post, World Liberty Finance said it shuffles its crypto holdings. To be clear, we're not selling, we're simply reallocating assets for ordinary business purposes. Now, they did swap. Yesterday, they did swap wrapped Ethereum for Ethereum. It's the same thing, okay? They didn't buy or sell a different token, they swapped. It's perfectly fine. World Liberty Finance are looking to sell $10 million of this. We talked about this. So again, this is something to keep an eye on, okay? This is something that's going to tell you potentially what you should hold. Now, I made a video about this, Thursday last week, and I covered off this portfolio. And I said in my video that buying this portfolio is actually not a bad portfolio. And it's not my portfolio, but if you owned this portfolio and you had the ETH, you had Tron, you had Link, Aave, ENA, there's a few other tokens in there as well, and you added Bitcoin to this portfolio, it's not a bad portfolio. They're fairly big projects. They're going to do quite well long term. It avoids the meme coin culture, so that's good. It doesn't go anywhere near real world assets and AI, which is perfectly fine. So it's a fairly solid project. Not my personal portfolio that I would go with, but it's still solid. And when this token launches, much as it's connected to Donald Trump, it's actually not a bad portfolio. And they're doing it the right way. I don't know who's advising them. I don't know if it's a combination of Hoskinson, Garlinghouse, people like that. I don't know, but it's not bad. So again, keep an eye on World Liberty Finance. I am not sponsored. I don't hold any World Liberty Finance. I don't hold anything, but it's so connected to the President of America, who is going to create the strategic reserve. You'd be mad not to see the connection between Ethereum in World Liberty Finance and Ethereum in the strategic reserve. And again, I'm sure more people are going to be talking about this than now, because I've not seen anybody mention it. Now, XRP has fallen down to $2.50. It was at $3.05, $3.10. I don't think it's the end of the world. Remember, we were back at 40 cents, 50 cents before the Trump inauguration. So he believes that we could see a major bounce again. Today could be a very pivotal day, not just for Bitcoin, but potentially, if we're going to get a press conference about crypto, it's going to mention Cardano and Charles Hoskinson, and it's going to mention Brad Garlinghouse and XRP. So they are likely to rip. Now, again, I don't think we're going to go to 153 on XRP. I think we're going to go back over $3 as the next big move for XRP. It's well positioned. I think $4 is pretty much nailed on for XRP as its next move. And that next move could coincide with the next leg up for Bitcoin to maybe $114,000, which I think I've still got, $112,000 I've still got on the screen. I think if Bitcoin goes to $112,000, I think XRP could hit $4. And it's where I think it's going to go. It's not a massive move, but it's also a very big project right now. And it's very difficult. It's not going to go. Seeing people talking about $100 XRP ain't going to happen. Ain't going to happen. Not in my lifetime. XRP will see a major breakout with much less resistance. I do agree. We've come down pretty quickly. We can go up again pretty quickly. $2.83 is the reclaim and $3.30. I think, again, if you're looking for some quick wins to coincide with the news that's going to come out today, I would be looking at XRP and Cardano, and of course Bitcoin. But I think Cardano going back above $1, XRP going back above $3. There's 20% gains, 25% gains there for you, and I don't know why that wouldn't be a good move. I don't know why people keep calling for these targets of $18. The market cap on XRP at $18 is massive. Again, I'm not saying that they're wrong. I find it hard to believe that they're going to go to some of these prices. Right then, I am trying to stay on time with the show today, but I want to very quickly have a look at the XRP chart. Let me check the messages as well. I haven't looked at messages all day. Hello, Danny, Chris, welcome. Tariq, Eugene, good morning. KB is bullish. Chris, smash the like button. Totally agree. I'm bullish because of what's going to happen today. And I think what's going to happen today is going to be bullish. And again, I think I'm going to give myself the title of the crypto Roy Keane. If you don't know who Roy Keane is, he's miserable. He's a miserable, miserable person. He's never happy. Okay? I am always the same with crypto, but I have an exception. And I think today, with the news of this strategic reserve, I think we're going to see some massive price action. Right then, this is the XRP chart. Now, again, we talk about different levels on here, and obviously we've got proper traders in chat, so you can ignore me, right? But if you look at where we are with XRP, is that a nice little arrow that I've drawn? There you go. Okay. So the target here is $4. It's actually probably a bit high now. $4.07. That's the target. Okay. $4.07 for me. We're at $2.56. So what's that? 40% gain. 40% gain from here. Is that right? 40%? No, 50. 60% gain from here. 60% gain from here. Something like that. Is it going to happen? I think so. I think XRP is primed. Now, you've got to remove emotion from a lot of things, especially when it comes to crypto because it's so volatile. Do I like Brad Garlinghouse? No. Do I like what he's trying to do with getting XRP into strategic reserve? No, I don't like it at all. Trump was voted in to create a Bitcoin strategic reserve. Now, what I have said is that maybe Trump knows the market sentiment through his family, and he'll do two things. He'll create a strategic reserve and a wealth fund. And he'll create a Bitcoin strategic reserve, which will pump the price of Bitcoin, but then create a wealth fund, which will include multiple assets. There's no reason why Trump can't do that. If I was Trump and I was trying to appease everybody, I'd do the same thing. Now, XRP, what did we do? So for me, that's the next move. Look at where we are. Look at where we are with the bull market support band. Way above the bull market support band. That's coming in at $1.80. That's because we had such an explosive move with XRP to the upside. So now we're sitting in a very comfy place. Okay, we're sitting on top of what I think is decent support, as decent as it can be at this price. The RSI, we're on the daily, by the way. The RSI is oversold, which is another sign that we have room to move up. We're at 40 now for the RSI. So we've cooled off. We've retraced to where we broke up to. All good signs. XRP for me is a big move. And I know we've been calling XRP for maybe 2.5 years now. And again, it's very hard to say, oh, well, we knew that Brad Garlinghouse was going to be with Donald Trump and Charles Hoskinson. You can't say that. That's not on anybody's bingo card. But XRP, for me, was always going to be too big to do anything but be a unicorn. And it is. And whether you like him or not, if you want to make money, you own the likes of XRP and Cardano and Solana and Ethereum and Bitcoin. That's what you should be holding, minimum. And then if you want to go and play in the field with a $50 million market cap coin and lose your money, or 200x your money, go and do it. That's fine. But 95% of the cryptocurrency assets in existence will not be here in 4 years' time. They'll be dead. They'll have no money. But XRP will still be here. That's the difference. You've got to think longevity. If you're 25 years of age and you're buying Bitcoin every day and you want to retire at 40, you're going to retire at 40 if you're doing nothing but buying Bitcoin. And that's the only asset that might probably be, it's the same guys in 15 years' time. But XRP for me, primed for $4. I still think with XRP that we could see $5 to $7 in the bull run. Again, it's only a 3x, 2x from here. I'm not expecting bigger things from it, but still, go for it. Now then, real world assets. Oh my days. Tokenized real world asset markets return to all-time highs. Now, one of the big surprises for me was when I was checking the bouncy coins yesterday. So when you see these dips, which coins recover the fastest? That's a good sign that they are the coins that traders really do believe in. And yesterday we saw Ondo and we saw OM and a few others pump. Now, real world assets is basically a new up and coming area of crypto. We all know that we have stock markets and we have bonds and whatever, but they only work Monday to Friday, 8 till 4, half 8 till half 4, whatever. Real world assets and tokenization of real world assets means bringing them onto the blockchain so they can operate 24/7, 365. We have an article coming up, 24/7 losses it's called. That's going to be the next step for stocks and shares. But real world assets has shot up 94% in a year, 4 billion in 3 months. It's a big thing. Now, it led the recovery simply because I think some of these tokens are absolute certainties to be successful. We're going to look at the list in a minute. So while we gained 7%, some of the real world assets tokens pumped. Link came up massively. Mantra, which we've just talked about, came up. Ondo came up. That went up to $1.40. Again, $1 and under for Ondo was a good price for me. Of course, it's not gone up the 5 or 6x's yet, but Ondo is still at a good price. We're going to ignore stuff like this because we don't talk about things that are not that high up. We don't want to scare people. But Algorand came up, XDC. Everybody's wanting to buy XDC. People keep asking me in DMs, where can I buy XDC? Pendle, Quant. Again, everything pumps up. I've read this as a speculative rotation by the market. Tokenization has been a bit for market wallflower recently. Again, I said this a few weeks ago, a couple of weeks ago, I said that the shift had gone on to AI, but that doesn't mean that real world assets shouldn't be in your portfolio. We try to find projects that are not in the news, and it's very difficult because everything goes from one news article to the next, and it's always themed about AI, about Ethereum, whatever it might be. But real world assets has never really left my thinking because it's not crypto, it's real profit-making business moving their assets online. That could be stocks or shares, yield-bearing stable coins tied to treasuries, which is pretty much what Tether and Circle make their money from. So again, it's a big thing. Now, you're saying to yourself, where do I get a list of real world assets from? And again, it's all available on the internet. Don't believe everything that you hear, don't believe everything that you see, but if you want to do your own research, you can go to the likes of CoinMarketCap. We use this all the time. We use this to show you meme coins and AI coins, and it's like a mantra, if you pardon the pun. These are the top real world asset tokens by market cap. Okay, Chainlink I hold, Avalanche I hold, Ondo I hold. I don't hold Hedera, it's a good project. I don't hold Mantra because it wasn't on the exchanges where I had my funds. But some of these are now looking very good for the bull run. Okay, Mantra is a top 50 coin, Ondo is a top 50 coin. VeChain, Algorand, top 50 coins. These are the coins, these 7 coins are the ones I would look at. Some people are talking about XDC, Injective, Quant. I love Quant. Injective is okay, but we're getting to the business end. And the business end is you want to be holding the bigger coins now for the bull run. because these aren't going to move. People are going to want to own Chainlink. They're going to want to hold Ondo. They're going to want to hold Hedera and Mantra. So these are a solid list of coins. If you don't have any real world asset projects, the minimum I would suggest is Chainlink. Get Chainlink. It's a really solid project. The revenue and the volume that goes through Chainlink is incredible. I think they've put through somewhere near $2 trillion worth of assets has gone through Chainlink. I think it's 1.7 trillion, something like that. It's massive amounts of money. And they are partnered with Visa, they're partnered with MasterCard, they're partnered with the majority of the blockchains. They've got CCIP, which allows for interoperability. They've got everything going for them. Avalanche, again, was a nothing coin 2 years ago. Come out of nowhere because they focused on real projects. And they've got a meme culture going on, but it hasn't really worked. They need to stick to what they're good at. So again, making sure I don't run out of time. Look at this stage of the market, look at the bigger coins. If anything comes along on Twitter, through the press, if anything comes along that's backed by Goldman Sachs, I'm going to tell you about it. I'm going to say, this is new, look at this, okay? Again, we try not to pick the most bullish coins in terms of news. We try and pick the most bullish coins in terms of what they can actually do. Do these projects up here make money? Yes, they do. Do these projects down here make money? The majority of them will not, because they are speculative. Sub $100 million coins. Some of them will make tiny amounts of money. So be careful which ones you pick for. Try and stick to the top ones. Now, we're kind of going through a good segue article. The CBOE is to launch 24-hour stock trading. Now, all of this sounds incredible, doesn't it? 24-hour stock trading. What's the catch? The catch is this. This is the catch. 24/7 trading on weekdays. Okay? I mean, the despair when I read that sentence last night. I'm like, so let me get this right. You're going to create an exchange which can trade 24/7, but you've decided that you're only going to do that Monday to Friday. So what does it start at? Is it one minute past midnight on Monday, and does it finish at 23:59 on Friday? What's wrong with Saturdays and Sundays? Why have you stopped running your marathon with 500 meters to go? Go the whole hog. It aims to meet the growing global customer demand for expanded access to US equities markets. It comes as real-world asset tokenization platforms are offering a 24/7 alternative for traditional securities markets. If these types of businesses, the London Stock Exchange, the S&P, if they don't have governments bring in laws to protect them, or they don't switch to 24/7, 365, they're going to die. Okay, and I think it's going to be a combination of both. I think there is going to be laws brought in to maintain control over digitized assets. And I think that's a good thing. We should praise that, okay? Because we've seen what's happened with meme coins. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry can make a meme coin. It's a waste of time. I also think that the majority of projects that have tokens are shares, okay? And I agree with Gary Gensler. A project launches, it does a token sale for $20 million. It raises $20 million. It goes off and it builds the project with the proceeds, okay? What's the difference between that and a share issue? None. So are they securities? Yes, they are. And we do need some control, and we don't want the Wild West, like Gary Gensler has been calling it. He's absolutely right in certain instances. But where he was wrong, and we're going to talk about that in a minute, is he went after the wrong people. Very simply put. We continue to hear from market participants, Asia, Hong Kong, Australia, Singapore. They want to operate 24-hour exchanges. They want a 24/5 trading model. I've never heard so much BS in all my life. 24/5. I mean, what on earth? Oh. So it already offers near round-the-clock trading hours for certain derivatives. That is what they are trying to tap into. This is the total real-world asset values broken down here. It's 11.9 billion private, 3.5 US Treasury, a few other bits. So that's what they're trying to tap into. Again, they're trying to bring the two worlds of crypto, blockchain, tokenization. They're trying to bring that from one side, and they're trying to bring stock exchanges from the other side, and then they're trying to make them in the middle. And we've told you time and time again that BlackRock are going to launch a 24/7 crypto stock exchange. They're going to launch it out of Texas. That's where it's going to be based. That is where they're going to want all of your money. And I've said this again before, just because BlackRock have fairly nefarious tactics for taking over companies, it doesn't mean you can't make money out of them. It doesn't mean you can't use their projects. I said this the other day, somebody in chat, I was saying, if you've got Piggy Bank DeFi and you've got BlackRock DeFi, which one are you going to use? I'm going to use BlackRock. Okay? Maybe it pays you 0.5% a year less. Maybe it's, a little bit more expensive. Maybe there's an annual fee for it. But guess what? You're probably going to get some level of customer support. You're probably going to get some level of account management with them that you're not going to get with Piggy Bank DeFi that's run by 6 blokes out of Eastern Europe. So just because BlackRock are the big nasties, it doesn't mean that you should discount them as some way for you to make yield, especially at the end of the bull run. The question is, I want you to ask yourself this question. In November, when you sell the top, fingers crossed, when you sell the top, what are you going to do with your money? Everybody's focused on their portfolio going up in value. When you get to November and I scream from the top of the mountain range, I have sold, I am out. What are you going to do with your money? Are you going to put it in your bank account and earn 1%? Are you going to put it into 12-month fixed rate debentures, whatever they might be, for 2 or 3%? Is that what you're going to do? Or are you going to go, look at Ondo, look at treasury yields that pay 3.5%, 4%? You're going to do that. You're going to look at putting it into stable coins that might pay you 5 or 6%. Think about what you're going to do when you've made your money. That's the next step. And it's important that you think about it now, because I don't want you all coming on here in December and saying, where do we put our money? Think about it now, okay? It's going to get to the point where your portfolio will top out and you need to sell. Think about what you're going to do with it. And I'm not saying you go to one of these platforms and buy Tesla stock either. I'm saying you should protect your capital is the next step after crypto. So again, you have got these various different projects. Again, you can look at these with your money, okay? Realworldasset.xyz have brought up USDY build, they pay 4.5%, 5%. Okay, so when Tariq's made his $1 million, he sticks it into USDY and it pays him $50,000 a year. That's it, and he can just keep that. And as long as that's outpacing inflation, which it should do, then when when the bear market really hits, Tariq can buy in and he'll have $1.1 million to buy back in. That's the way we want it to work. So again, keep an eye. Real world assets, they are here to stay. They're not something which are a fly-by-night. There are still some speculative markets. If we've got time at the end, I want to go and have a look at AI again, okay? Drop Dead, would love to have your views on Bitcoin dominance if you feel a bit charty today. I'll bring up Bitcoin dominance again. I did talk about Bitcoin dominance yesterday. I did bring up the Bitcoin dominance chart. But the reason I want to go and look at AI is because it's fallen out of favor because of what's happened with DeepSeek. And that will give you an opportunity to get into some AI coins. But I want to show you the top AI coins because the majority of AI coins are worthless. 99% of AI coins out there are crap. You've got meme coins, and instead of calling themselves Piggy Bank, they're now called Piggy Bank AI. Or Mike is now called Mike AI, or Crypto Warehouse AI. They're sticking AI on the end to get you to buy the token, and that is a recipe for disaster. Right, the SEC cleaning house probes to be approved by commissioners. Again, what happened with the SEC? Crypto came along. The SEC had no oversight committee in charge of it. They kept calling Gary Gensler up and kept saying, you're keeping crypto back, you're doing this, you're doing that. And Gary Gensler was quite right in saying the majority of crypto is a scam. And he was right in saying that. But it was basically a department that was just left to do its own thing. And it went after the wrong people. It shouldn't have gone after XRP. Come on. It was looking to go after Ethereum. I mean, seriously. SEC needs to be given a list of targets. And those targets should be what they focus on with a laser eye. And they are not the top projects. They are not the Bitcoins. They're not the Solanas or the Cardanos or the XRPs. They are the projects that launch and cost people their investments, okay? And you can look at Pump.Fun. Pump.Fun, even under the Trump administration, is being sued. That should tell you all you need to know about Pump.Fun. So when you see these kind of things, think to yourself, why is nobody stopping the SEC? There's nobody stopping them because there was nothing in place to stop them. They could sue whoever they wanted to. Right then, it would require the SEC attorneys to obtain the approval of the commission as a whole. That's the key now. They need to decide as a team moving forward what they're going to do. And again, we're not going to go into too much of this. It's not that important. I want to move on and talk about a few other things in a minute. But basically, we can have a crypto-friendly America, but we can still stop the bad guys. The SEC is supposed to stop the bad guys, and it lost its way and started chasing the good guys, while the bad guys were running out the back door with all the crown jewels, okay? And some things we can't talk on here because they are to do with exchanges. ZachXBT did an investigation into a certain crypto exchange and found that millions upon millions of dollars were being stolen from the clients of this exchange in America because there was phishing attempts and all these kind of things. And that's why that certain exchange started to freeze people's accounts, because they were being, their clients were under attack. So before I get on to AI, we're going to go very quickly and have a look at Bitcoin dominance, not domination. Bitcoin is dominant. Bitcoin domination is not something we want to talk about on here. Bitcoin dominance is what we want to talk about on here. And by the way, if you want to listen to somebody really knowledgeable on Bitcoin dominance, you want to go and follow Ben Cowen. Benjamin Cowen into the Cryptoverse. He is the top dog, okay? There is no point in anybody trying to argue with this man when it comes to Bitcoin dominance. He, of course, I would call a little bit of a Bitcoin maxi. He's heavy on Bitcoin until the Bitcoin dominance breaks down, and then he switches to his alts. And we know what some of his alts are. He runs a Cardano node, so that should tell you that he's into Cardano. Now then, let's wait for the chart to load. This is the daily. Is it going to load? There we go. Okay. So, Bitcoin dominance has been going up for about 2.5 years now. And I said, somebody asked in chat, where is Bitcoin dominance going to top out? I said between 60.5 and 61%. That is where I said we would top out. That's why we've got two lines there. That's where we got to last time. Bitcoin dominance, because of the cascading liquidations, actually got as high as 64.4%. Incredible. Now, you will see we are starting to come back down into the range where I thought we were going to top out. Now, why is Bitcoin dominance important? Because the higher this goes, the more Bitcoin is outperforming all of the other alts combined. Ethereum absolutely tanked, and that shot the Bitcoin dominance up because Ethereum was 20% of the total market cap at one point. I think it's probably down now to maybe even 12 or 13%. But I think Ethereum is going to recover today. So what I think is going to happen for Drop Dead is I think we're going to have normal service resume. And normal service resume is going to be us coming back down to here. If you follow Bitcoin dominance, I can't fit it on the chart. What happened was, you've heard of a fake out. We're going to call this a fake in. This started to break down, and we were starting to say alt season's going to happen. And this was in December, so this was a bit early. I said by the end of December, we would start to see the breakdown. We broke down early. Then everybody was expecting alt season. And since the end of November, that has happened. We've done nothing but go up with Bitcoin dominance since the end of since the beginning of December. We've done nothing but go up. Look, 9th of December, 55%, 57%, 58%. We bounced off 59% and we carried on going. We broke back above. I mean, you can't put bull market support bands on everything, but they do show where things hold. And we are bouncing off this line. So if we follow this line, and let's say Bitcoin breaks out again today because of the strategic reserve, we are going to probably go back into this area up here, 62, 63%. But then when it comes down, what we want to see, so let's say we do this, what we want to see is, are we going to find support at 60, 60.5, something like that? Because everyone's calling it the end of the bull run, okay? The end of the bull run traditionally has happened when Bitcoin dominance has broken down. Now, if you want to know what Bitcoin dominance breaking down looks like, it looks nothing like this, okay? It looks like somebody pushed Bitcoin off the edge of a cliff, okay? That is what Bitcoin dominance breaking down looks like, okay? It is violent and it shoots Bitcoin all the way down. That is a massive crash. That took 6th of March to the 28th of May. So 2 months to break down. That's what it took. Now, I can't tell you my target for March, but that coincides with it. And if you're an OG, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. So I think if we do break down, we come back into that 60.5 to 61% range, which is the one I've drawn. That's where I think we should be. I think the macro events are going to cause Bitcoin to go up. Why? Because Bitcoin is the safest asset within the most speculative asset class, which is crypto. Where do stock markets go in times of uncertainty? Gold. Gold is at all-time highs. Where do people go in crypto if they don't want to leave crypto? They go into stables, which is USDT, or they go into Bitcoin. We've seen them go into Bitcoin, okay? So that is where we are. I'm not going to look at USDT dominance right now because it is 11.57, and I very, very, very quickly want to go back over AI. So AI, I brought up because the narrative was everywhere, okay? It's a little bit like Emperor's New Clothes. I don't know which one to look at. Let's look at this one. This is probably the wrong one, but they've got even multiple categories. This isn't the one. Which one is it then? Is it AI Launchpad? They've added more categories as well. Let's just go for AI agents then. Maybe it's this one. If virtuals comes up top, this is the right one. Okay, this is the right one. Now, so AI agents all over the place up until DeepSeek. DeepSeek came out, tanked the market, tanked AI, okay? It then transpires that the Chinese were lying, okay? And it didn't cost $5 and 6 bags of crisps to build. It cost billions to build. So why that happened, it doesn't really matter. But AI agents and AI tokens, they are not something you should dismiss because of a fake news article about China. Now, look at some of these coins up here. ASI is at 78 cents. It should be $5, okay? At minimum, $3. So virtuals, I think, got as high as about $4, $1.45. AI16Z I think that got as high as about 90 cents again. And AIXBT, that was as high as about 70 or 80 cents as well. So they've been absolutely crushed. Year to date, which is on the right-hand side, you can't see. Just to give you an example, AI16Z is down 75%, Virtuals is down 63%, ASI is down 33%, and AIXBT is down 35%. If we go a bit further down, 45%. So everything is lost. In the 5 weeks we've had of this year so far, all AI projects are down. Now, not all AI projects are bad. That's something you've got to bear in mind. But it's such a new market that when you get down to, even if you scroll down not that far, you'll get into projects which are 20 million, 16 million. No, avoid them. If you've got a mate in the pub who says to you, listen, Dave, I've got a bit of a tip for you. Oh yeah, what's that, Dave? Yeah, go and buy Dave AI. Dave AI, it's going to revolutionize the world, mate. Go and buy Dave AI. Okay, you don't listen to people in the pub. You don't listen to people on X. They're all the same people. They're all trying to sell you their tokens so they can sell their bags to you. If you want to get into AI, ASI, or FET as it used to be called, is the number one coin you should hold. If you want to go down the route of looking at other areas of AI, you want to hold NEAR protocol, for example. Maybe Render, coins like that. But if we're looking at specific like AI launch pools, AI bots and things like that, those top 4 are my coins that I will hold. And I hold, of all those coins, I hold ASI. It's my number one. I made a video about ASI and FET 2 years ago. We did a live stream about ASI 2 years ago. It's my number one pick. And that is, if there is a safe bet in AI, it's that project because of its size. The rest of it is still speculative, which is why Virtuals would be my second pick. You look at the gap between ASI and Virtuals and everything else. There's a $500 million market cap gap. But these coins are not in the public eye at the minute. We've gone back to real world assets because they pumped. Real world assets we were talking about when nobody else was, because everybody was off talking about AI tokens. Now everyone's talking about real world asset tokens. You should be looking at AI because it's been absolutely pummeled by DeepSeek, which has transpired and turned out to be fake news. So don't always think about it's like, what do you call it? It's like your favorite movie star is Tom Cruise. You haven't seen a Tom Cruise film in 2 years. He's still a good actor, debatable. But you know what I mean? It doesn't make the actor bad overnight. It doesn't make the footballer bad overnight. 1 or 2 bad games does not make a bad footballer. 1 or 2 bad weeks in crypto is a lifetime for a project. But that's why you need to hold the top coins in that niche, because they are the ones that are likely to survive. I very much doubt that anything down here is going to survive. And there may be 1 or 2 exceptions. For example, Hive, $3 million market cap. That could be a $300 million market cap project in 6 months' time because something happens and they sign a contract with the US government, okay? So I'm not saying every coin down here is trash. I'm saying 99% of coins down there are trash. And if they're not trash, they don't get traction, they're still not going to make you a gain. So stick to the top coins. And I've pointed this out simply because of the fact they've been pummeled so much that they're going to have a bounce. And in a week or two, Sam Altman and Donald Trump stand up on stage and start talking about AI again. These coins are all going to rip through the roof. So if you don't hold any AI coins, go and get some of them. Anyway, Dave AI to the moon. Somebody should go and make a Dave AI coin. I hope, says Tariq, 100 million market cap, 1K liquidity. Exactly. It's what I love about projects. You see it a lot. When we do our reviews, we do deep dives, you see, you know what, we should put that one on. It's the end of the show. When you see a lot of our reviews that we do on projects, we talk a lot about the market cap, the circulating supply against the total supply, and we talk a lot about liquidity. If you own $1 million of a token, Tariq owns $1 million worth of Dave AI. If there's no buy orders set for Dave AI, Tariq can't sell it. And if he owns 5% of the circulating supply, he can't sell it because nobody's going to buy it and it'll tank the price. You see it with a lot of coins, smaller coins, where they get shillfluencers and they say, right, we're going to give you 5% of the circulating supply to Crypto Banter if you go and pump the token. So Crypto Banter goes on a stream and says, go and buy Dave AI. Price of Dave AI goes up, but there's no liquidity in the market, and Crypto Banter turn around and sell all their tokens, and it just absolutely tanks it. So you got to be careful. You got to be careful what you'll see some people knock, a coin. Dave AI gets listed on every exchange in the world. Dave AI will have liquidity. If Dave AI is only available on Uniswap, Dave AI is not going to have a massive amount of liquidity, and that makes it hard to sell and makes the price move a lot more. So be very careful. Anyway, so Drop Dead is now going to be a millionaire by going off and making Dave AI. I am going to go off and make some videos. It's 12:05. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. I like this background. It makes me feel like I'm in a room with an actual podcast setup. And in fact, I'm not in a room with a podcast setup like this. I wish I was. It looks really cozy, and I would go to sleep on that sofa if it was a little bit bigger, because I am 6'3", and that sofa looks like it would fit a midget. Anyway, Alex Becker type background. Is it really? Take care, everybody. Thank you for coming. I will see you all tomorrow morning. Oh, also, tomorrow night we have... No, what day is it today? Tuesday. Yeah, tomorrow night we have our Squid Games show. We have a live quiz. A live quiz. You can play the live quiz tomorrow night. Can't wait. See you all tomorrow. Take care.